What's up, fellow Guardians? My name is The Cell Games, and today is October 22nd, 2021, and Xur, as you can see, is on Nessus. If you want to find him, he's over here in the Watcher's Grave on the upper right section of the map. Let's go see what he's got for us today. So as always, he's got his exotic cipher quest, which you can use to get previous exotics from previous seasons, as well as a second exotic engram from him every single week. See what we got. Got the Path of Burning Steps, which is an exclusive exotic to running legendary lost sectors. And once you finally gotten your legendary lost sector done that drops boots, this drops from there, it becomes a world drop. Overall is 62, and it's got a fair bit of resilience, but all the other stats are kind of pee-pee poo-poo, so we'll just get rid of that. Starting off with exotics, this week he's brought the Graviton Lance. Exotic perk is called it's called Black Hole. Second shot of the burst rips a hole through space-time, doing high damage and recoil with no fall off. Secondary exotic perk is called Cosmology. Kills with this weapon cause enemy targets to detonate and spawn void projectiles that track targets. It's also got a fair bit of ornaments. If you want to look at those, already got this ornament on here, and this is the base look. It also has an exotic catalyst, which I believe you can probably get from doing strikes now. Originally it was from Faction Wars, so I don't remember really where you can get it nowadays. And it gives you a fair bit of range and also better target acquisition. For the hunters, he's brought the Oath Keepers, got a total of 63. Unfortunately, his stat spread is not as great as you could want it to be, but it's decent enough to grab. Its exotic perk is Adamantine Brace. Bow charges can be held indefinitely. This is a good to use for exotics like the Le Monarch, as well as the Wish Ender. Really makes bows good in the hands of hunters when it comes down to PvP. PvE, I don't necessarily think you would really want to focus on this exotic. For Titans, you brought the Ursa Furiosa. The exotic perk is called the Ursine Guard. Move faster while guarding with the Sentinel Shield is active. Guarding damage converts super energy when super ends. This is really meta for Grandmasters, especially this week's the Exodus Crash, where you want to stay in the corner and, you know, get a little bit of extra damage on while you clear ads. Overall stat roll of 61. Not the greatest in terms of resilience, which is definitely what you want on the Titan as well. And intellect is not that great. Unfortunately, I would say pass on this one specifically. And finally, for the Warlocks, we have the Lunafaction Boots. Its exotic perk is called Alchemical Etchings. Your rifts gain an additional ability to increase weapon reload speed. Empowering rifts makes weapon effects over longer ranges. So basically it just increases the range of your weapons and gives you faster reload speed. It's actually really good. Overall stat total is 65 for this one. Could use a little bit more intellect and recovery, because you're going to be wanting to spam rifts, as well as if you're a Attunement of Grace Solar Warlock, you know, which it affects your excuse me, I had a cough there. It affects your Well of Radiance as well. So I wouldn't necessarily like the stat total of 65 is great, but it's really balanced, and has way too much leaning in mobility. You can get a better one. For the weapons this week, he's got the Dire Promise once again. This one's auto loading and elemental capacitor. Also has high caliber rounds. You can choose between hit mark and true sight. This is better for PvP. By the last prediction, if you've been keeping up with my channel, you already know I don't like this pulse rifle. This one has Zen Moment and Firmly Planted. Got the Cold Denial, which is actually a pretty good pulse rifle. In the high impact frame variety, comes with Killing Wind and Headseeker. Not the best perks. Well, Killing Wind is good, but Headseeker is not necessarily a perk that you want to lean on in pulse rifles. At least for Destiny 2. Destiny 1 is pretty decent. Came with a main ingredient with Snapshot and high impact reserves. Actually not bad. You got Particle Repeater for more stability, and you have accelerated coils for faster charge time and decreased impact. And also you got your choice of sights here. Not necessarily the best main ingredient Xur's had so far, but it's acceptable. You got the Ikelos sniper rifle V1.0.2. It's got 4th times the charm and quick draw. You have your choice between extended mag and steady rounds. Not bad. And then you also have the Temptations hook, which is, it has Tireless blade and Whirlwind blade. And your choice between heavy guard and burst. You even get Jagged Edge, increase a little bit of your impact. Not necessarily a role that you would want for this. As well as he's brought another bottom dollar with Explosive Payload and Subsistence. You have a choice between Accurized rounds, Hammer Forge, Small Bore. Actually not bad. I would say pick this up. I'm actually gonna grab this one because I don't have an Explosive Payload one. Alright, now for character armor, this week he's brought the Chiros function set for Titans. These gauntlets are not the worst you can get. 59 stat overall. It's got high strength, intellect, recovery, and resilience, which are basically all the stats that you would really want on a Titan. So if you don't actually have something that's better than this, I would say pick this up. For the chest piece, it's got 61 overall. It's got a pretty decent balance, but I've seen better. For the helmet, he's got high mobility and high strength. I don't know, maybe if you want to come up with a high strength build. Titans have a lot of melee centric exotics, so maybe, but the lack of resilience is kind of concerning, so I personally wouldn't pick this up, but it's kind of up to you. And then we have the Chiros function Greaves. 62 stat overall. It's got some acceptable amount of discipline and intellect. Other than that, I would say pass on this. Continuing on with armor, we have Hunters. Gauntlet's got some decent strength and mobility. Unless you're coming up with a melee build, because Hunters can come up with some decent melee builds as well. But I say pass on these. Chest piece is all right. Pass. Helmet is really well balanced, but usually you want a lot more leaning towards mobility and intellect and recovery. And these boots are actually pretty acceptable. Got high intellect and mobility. You would want a little bit more recovery. If you don't have something that really stacked in those stats, I would say pick this up. Last but certainly not least, we have the Warlock Armor set. Got a pretty decent gauntlets. Could use more intellect and recovery. Probably not worth the legendary shards. Chest piece is not what you would be looking for. Neither is the helmet or those boots are okay, but not really worth the 50 legendary shards. That's it for this week's Xur video. Let me know in the comment section if you'll be picking up anything from his inventory this week, as well as like the video if you did, subscribe for more Destiny 2 content, as well as hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Once again, my name has been The Cell Games, Have a good one.